And in that moment, I saw that necessity was pushing me, that the tension of, I didn't want to do anything else but ministry. I wanted to write. I was discovering things. I was teaching at the Bible college, making almost nothing. I was doing these things. I was traveling, going to churches and whatnot. But I thought, if I had $3 million, Mark, you wouldn't do this. But I was in a journey. I was growing. I was developing. I was struggling at finding a pure word from the Lord. I was learning to edit my ideas down to something that was the Word of God and not just good ideas. And that is a craft that was being developed through necessity. And the pressure God was, but I was thinking, man, I just was so surprised because I thought, surely I am more noble than this. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're just not that pure. And it was like, okay. I mean, it wasn't the worst revelation I had about myself. So I took it like a man. Of course, I didn't tell my wife. But I realized that, this is a reality. And it's a little humbling because you think you're very, I'm very disposed to doing the will of God. I am pursuing the glory of God in the earth. I am completely committed to his kingdom. No, you're not. I still have to apply pressures on you to get what I need you to do because you don't quite share the values that I share. You see, there comes a point where pressure is no longer needed with our kids. There comes a point where they love a clean room as much as we love a clean room. Where they just loved the order. They besides stepping on toys that are cutting into your feet and those kinds of, they just suddenly like it. There's something right about the room when it's prepared, when it's ready, when it's clean, when there's not cobwebs, when there's not gum stuck on the doorknob or whatever it is. That moment is a moment of arrival. And God is looking at you, and what he's saying is, listen, I want you to value what I value. I'm not here just making you do things. I'm here giving you an opportunity to move from necessity to purpose. But because of immaturity, necessity is where we start. Because it's not inside of you. It's not a part of your being. Well, here's the thing. Recently, I was driving and I was praying and I was thinking, and all of a sudden, I had another epiphany. And God showed me that there are values that I have inside of me, things I do, not because of threat of punishment and not because of promise of reward, but simply because I love what he loves. I realized, wow. And all of a sudden I saw that there was a connection to authority. That authority in the kingdom, it comes into line with the shared values. And so what God is looking at, we say, Lord, you promised that I was going to be a person of authority. It's, yes, you are. And that you will cross the threshold when you get my values. When you love what I love, then you get my authority. See, this is what Jesus was after with Peter. Peter, you love being the king. You love being the main man. And you know what? You're called to be the main man. You're called to be the forerunner. You are called to be the guy who's going to stand up one day and 3,000 are going to be saved in one day. That's coming. But right now, you don't really love me. You are afraid of punishment or you're in it for a reward. Outside pressure, necessity is a boundary around you, keeping you harnessed, keeping you focused. But there's going to come a day where you organically carry my heart.